Welcome to the big show.
He could go all the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Oh, shit. I want that. What is going on, PFA Nation? Welcome to episode 16 of The Rundown, powered by the Pressbox Sports Studios. As always, all the way from Ohio, my co-host, Mr. Chris Cousins, and myself, Brian Mitchum. We are your hosts with the most, live on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching, tap in, like and subscribe. Let's get the chat going, get some interaction, open the phone lines later. Yeah. So if you're feeling froggy tonight, you're welcome to call in. Give us a call. We'd love to chat with you, football or whatever else you want to chat about. So, Chris, who we have on episode 16 tonight?
Man, well, tonight, man, we definitely have a nice show for you guys, man. Episode 16, as always, like to do it big for you. We have Coach Rondé Wheeler from the Sin City Bucks, man. Now, the reason why this is big, man, the Bucks just come off a huge, dare I say, Disney-like Pirate of the Caribbean-esque victory. The Gators, where they took 20 soldiers, 20 Buccaneers down to Michigan and came out with the victory. So, you know, we had to have him on the show so we can talk about how he was able to get those guys to buy in and everything like that. Also, we definitely have Coach Robert Henderson finally, and he just messaged me.
Finally.
He just messaged me just now, so I got to hit him up in a second. But finally, we have Coach Robert Henderson, and they're coming off rivalry week against
Huge win
against the Flag City Phantoms. So we definitely want to chirp into his ears, see what's going on, because the playoffs for 2A are coming up around the corner. Literally in 2 weeks, we're going to have some playoff football in the 2A division. So as Brian also said, we're going to open up the chat lines later on, man. Chat lines going to be opened up later on at the end of the show, man. Please call in. Call in. We want to hear from you. You know what I'm saying? Have a question. Have something to say. Represent your team. Represent yourself. You know, it's going to be your time to shine at that point in time. So Brian's going to, when he puts the phone number down, man, please call. Again, this is the family-friendly show. You know, bring down to a minimum. Respect yourself at all times. Plus, also, we're going to have the recap of Week 6, get you the rundown of what's going on with there. Also, we have the the Week 7 Power Rankings and game preview. I think we need to go over the pick'ems again because I'm winning, and Brian doesn't want to put that out there yet. But
hey, I'm catching up to you, man, because you picked the Bills to win last week. We won't talk about that right now. We'll wait to bash you about it later. You know, I know the Ravens player been on your throat since then. So
yeah, we were supposed to have Mr. Jerry on this evening, but unfortunately, due to practice issues, you know, he's not going to be able to make it. And it's sad. It's sad because, you know, I became almost meme-like there for a second there, Brian. You know, my face was posted everywhere in all the groups and everything like that for, you know, my pick that I have made. And it just seems to me that I had struck a nerve. I struck a nerve with the Ravens. Okay. So I want to say this to all the Ravens, since I was told that you guys are listening. Don't take it. Don't take it personal,
baby. You shouldn't take it personal. Shouldn't take it personal at all. You know.
I do this because I love this. I do this because I love the game and the sport. And again, man, somebody has to do the job. And it just happens to be me. So I welcome all the memes, the emojis. I might be wrong, but I'm trying to tell you, if you can dish it out, you can take it back.
Yep.
All right. When I'm right now,
this is an
when
equal
I'm
opportunity show.
yes, when I'm right, listen, I will come on next year. I've even thought about doing like like my man on Leaf Quartet and try to get at least the helmets of all the teams. So when I do my pick'ems, I'm gonna put a helmet on. So
That'd be funny.
I'm going now, but we have that and a lot more. Rundown episode 16. We're gonna take a quick short break, pay some bills. You know how that be, and we'll be right back.
Hey y'all, this is Aaron Sanders, owner of the Flag City Phantoms, and you're watching Rundown, baby. Let's go.
I'm gonna take that video of Aaron Sanders off since they lost last week.
Hey.
Well, welcome back to the Rundown. We're live on Facebook and YouTube as well. Please like, subscribe, share if you are not already one of those, or all three would be great. And please, if you're watching, comment in the chat. Get the conversation going. We always appreciate the viewer participation and helps us keep the show flowing. But we're going to jump right into week 6 recaps, Chris. Throw that on the screen. We'll start with this game first. Man. Our poor Lima Warriors. But you know what? They faced a great team in the Southern Indiana Bobcats. Well coached over there. So congratulations to the Bobcats. They're taking on the Indy Bison. Big Battle of Indiana this weekend. 2 teams that crossed over with us, the PFA over here this season. So we try to throw our support out to those guys that supported us to get the schedule. But man, 46-0, Chris. 46-0. There's some other things that took place. We're not going to get into that. We'll keep that on the
I'm just in awe, Brian, just because, like I said, I've played this game for a long time, and some of the things that have transpired behind the scenes over the last couple of weeks is behooving. It's very behooving.
It is ridiculous. It's crazy. It's like, what the hell's going on?
It's not the Lima that I remember, and I know it's not the Lima that owner stand for and be. So I just hope they get it together, man. I just hope they really get it together. I'm rooting for them. And basically, when you don't have your house in order, it definitely spills out onto the field. This is what we're gonna be getting until they fix things, unfortunately.
And it feels like they go 2 steps in the right direction and they go back 1 step in the wrong direction. So, but like we've been saying every week, they're a young team. They got the talent, but they're just young. They gotta find their wills and hopefully the season's almost over. They make the playoffs. It's a brand new season when the playoffs hit. So who knows what can happen? Maybe they'll get their stuff together by playoffs.
I doubt it.
The next game was the Sin City Bucks and the Michigan Gators. Like you said earlier, the Bucks went up to Michigan. I mean, it wasn't a pretty win, but they came out with the win nevertheless. And like we said, Coach Ronde is going to be on the show in a little bit. The betrayal. Who's betrayed? Are you talking about Chris Allen O'Grady? Is he a Ravens player?
This is just the crazy part about this game is just to give the people a recap. The week prior to this game, Buccaneers go down to Michigan. They play the Bills, lose in a tight one. So this is back-to-back trips to Michigan. Hey, I'm sorry, Bowers. Hey, it is what it is. I can't. So This is back-to-back trips to Michigan. They're all the way in Cincinnati, so travel is definitely an issue. And for these gentlemen, these soldiers, these Buccaneers, the 20 brave souls that went down there and handled business. I've been in games like this. This is grown man football. Okay? This is where ego is out the door. This is where pride is out the door. You talking about everybody playing offense, defense, and special teams. You might not have been on kickoff, return, punt return, nothing all year, but guess what? You're gonna be on it today. This is that type of football. And these are honestly these are the best games to be in when you're in a situation like the Buccaneers see themselves in this season. They've lost their identity. They needed to find out what a core. They needed to find out were they still who they even thought they were. And battling with just 20 guys, that says a lot. So I can't wait to get him on here to talk to ask him what he said to them. Because I know he started a rookie quarterback.
Woo.
First game in professional development football. And, you know, to be able to do that and be a leader of men at the same time, it's a tough opponent. Tough opponent in the Gators. And the Gators also are coming off of a loss just recently against the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I know they probably had high expectations going against this game because they felt that they could have won the game against the Ravens. So
True.
It's a tough pill to swallow. Tough pill to swallow.
For sure. That puts, I mean, they come back with a win. I know Coach Ronde said during the Sunday meeting that, you know, they put they get a string of losses and they come back and get a string of wins to finish out the season. So we'll see if that's par for the course coming up. Week 7, only 4 more weeks left for 3A. 2A is getting ready to wrap things up here in about a week or two. And so we'll have some more information on that as far as the playoffs go here in a little bit. And on to the next game. AA Ron, you done messed up, AA Ron. You guys lost on the last play of the game and made me lose the pick. I had faith in you, AA Ron. I had faith in you. You even made the cover of your team's flyer this week. So, and
it was on there looking like Denzel in Training Day. They had to glistening on the poster. And then, listen, and again, this is one of those things. You got to be able to take what you dish out.
Coach Henderson was on that shit, wasn't he?
Adams been putting people on tune all year long. And against your rival, who you have not beaten since this game has come, this is the 3rd game in existence. They are 3-0 against you guys.
Woo.
So they definitely wanted to make sure that their name wasn't on that tombstone. And I don't know if we got. Do we have the highlight clip of that one, Brian?
No, I didn't. You didn't get it to me. I don't think. Yeah, I don't have it.
You know, I definitely have it on the page. So if you go to the page, it's definitely on the page. I definitely shared it. But like the caption said on there, if you want to win, put Booby in. Okay. And that short string pass that they threw, and when I say my boy literally broke about 6 tackles on the way to a touchdown with no time left on the clock. It's gotta hurt. It's got to hurt.
Sting bad. And last thing, guys, Phantoms, hit, wrap, and drive. Tackle some damn football players, man. Come on, they let the dude break 6 tackles in the last closing seconds of the game to beat you guys. It's rivalry week. Glass City continues winning their rivalry. So better luck next year, Phantoms.
Better luck next year.
Man, this game, Chris, you know, Bills talked a lot. Wanted all that smoke. And they got up there, and that smoke was put out pretty quick. almost by 30 points.
I almost feel like it's my fault in some way. I almost feel like I'm a co. Like I feel like a co-offender in this situation because it's like I said, it's my job to to poke the bear sometimes. You know what I mean? And Ravens have been putting up 50 balls, all season long.
Yep.
Then you play the Pit Bulls, you only put up 29. You know what I mean? You play the Gators, they jump out early, So I had, hey, Bills was coming to town. They're a pretty sneaky team. You know what I'm saying? Very sound defensively. I figure, the Hail Race team to 21 points, for 4 quarters.
I mean,
I was trying to give them. I was trying to give them something, and clearly they took what I gave them and ate it up on the plate.
I mean, it happens. It happens, man. I mean, you
I became a meme. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate you guys watching the show.
I did not see that. I must have woke up, and it must have been in the morning time, and I never even noticed it that you were a meme.
Number 1 tight end on the National Players Association list. He was the one who created we're going to call it the Believe meme of myself when we made the pick. Another video going around too that he actually added like footage with it. I think I shared that one too.
Oh wow, he was on you. He was.
Hey. Listen, when I'm right, I'm right. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm telling you, when I'm right, I'm gonna be right, Jerry.
Yeah.
I can make little videos too.
Yep.
I'm always watching. Don't let me catch you slipping. I get all the fans, all the footage. You better be on your job. Don't miss a block. Don't drop a catch, Jerry.
I'm sure Jerry's gonna watch this after practice and be like, okay, we'll see. That's gonna do it for this week's weekly recap. No, it's not. Hang on. There we go. The Wolfpack, man, they're making a comeback. Like we always say, they were the redheaded stepchild for the first couple weeks of the season, and they've gotten their stuff together, kicked out some bad apples, and they're like a well-oiled machine over there in Northern Kentucky. So
I mean, I hate to say it, bro. They are looking. If we had to look at them right now and not look at if we look at the last 4 games and not anything before that, they are looking by far the best team in the 2A division.
yeah,
They're putting up points. They're shutting opponents down, holding them up under 15 points per game these last 4 games. I think it might even be lower than that. It might be 10 because I know a couple donuts is on there. But even still, like they have like you said, players have been able to come back, got rid of the bad apples. So this is going to be interesting going into the playoffs. I know they got a tough matchup coming up this week against the Pit Bulls, who had a bye week this week to try to rest their weary bones from the gauntlet of the 3A schedule they had this season. So this is definitely going to have playoff implications because these 2 teams are probably going to meet each other again in the first round of playoffs. So even though it's not going to matter for the Pit Bulls as far as home field advantage or anything,
right?
You definitely want to get a win, against the opponent that you're probably going to face them again.
And for this game, FCP would probably want the Pit Bulls to win too, because the Wolfpack is on FCP's ass right now. They're not far from behind them, and that game that FCP didn't play might hurt them with that seeding. So, I know Mark Garcia mentioned some scenarios for that, and I can't remember all of them. But if it comes down to a tiebreaker, the Wolfpack did beat FCP in the preseason, but I don't know if that's going to be the tiebreaker or not. But because they don't play each other again in the regular season. So also, the Pit Bulls did get a 21-0 forfeit, as well as the Motor City Rams. So those two teams had a well-deserved break.
Now that is definitely the recap of the week 6. All the games that took place. This last week was the start of the interleague play for the 3A, and some things are starting to shake up. People. We got some big games coming up this week as well, and the two-way FCP losing, Wolfpack winning. That could potentially shake up that number 1 seed in 2A if the Wolfpack can continue to string along this winning streak that they've been able to do. We're going to go ahead and take another break. Like I said, this is the Rundown, episode 16. Stay tuned.
What is up? We're back. This guest segment sponsored by Putty's. Or were you doing Putty's Kitchen this one, or wait?
No, I was going to do the last one.
Okay. We'll say this one's sponsored by Trinity Trifecta, their official uniform provider of the PFA. And Coach Wheeler is in the waiting room, by the way. Our first guest is the head coach of the Sin City Bucks, who sit at 3-3 with 4 games left, looking to make a run coming off the 12-7 hard-fought victory versus the Michigan Gators. Please welcome back to the show, Mr. Coach Wheeler. Coach, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on that hard-fought win, sir.
Coach, what?
Appreciate it.
And
Hey,
I
first
know
of all,
I know
you
you've
look
been.
OG with the chain in the tooth.
Say what?
You look real OG right now with the chain and the do rag.
Well, the Mason, that's a Mason chain. Is that the
Yes.
Freemason?
Freemason.
Uh-oh. He's Illuminati, Chris. Freemason.
I'm not Illuminati.
Yeah, no smoke. But as always, Coach, we're glad to have you back on the show. You know, have you on here to talk football with you. But I just want to dive right into it, man. How were you able to get 20 dudes and a rookie quarterback to buy in for 40 minutes of grown man football? What is
Take another loss. The guys that unfortunately wasn't able to make it because they had other obligations. The team that went, they wanted it bad. They wanted it real bad, and then they played for each other. You know, we talked about it the day prior about I told them I need $15 to $20 to go with me to go to war, and that's exactly what I got. And then I've always had my rookie quarterback. We just haven't been able to, unleash him. So now, what I'm saying, put the league on notice. I got 2-headed monster at quarterback. He's different. We nicknamed him Tim Tebow because he's a much bigger quarterback.
definitely?
The rain did play a big part in our game plan, but it worked to our advantage because we was able to run more and not pass as much. But then when the passes were attempted, they were completed. So we just pretty much played it inch by inch, yard by yard. We went and going out there to try to, sling it all over the place or run all over the place. Mainly just clock management. Once we got up, we knew what we need to do to stay up. When they did score, and I believe they were ahead of us because it was like 7-6, I think. We just knew we still in the game. It's a long game. It was it was wet, really wet. So That's not really preparing for that type of weather and throwing in that type of weather. We just made some adjustments. That's all. I know Reese helped me out with few key points as far as managing my rookie quarterback and not throwing too much at him. You know, he gets work in practice and stuff, but he's been primary playing defense for us. So he's actually a hitter.
Okay.
So I gotta do a threat as a rookie quarterback.
All right, go ahead, Brian.
You were able to start the new quarterback coach at this game. You said he's a rookie. We know he's a rookie at this level. Nonetheless, how did you think he did, and how will he be used in tandem with Mo Money coming up moving forward for the rest of the season?
I can't tell you how he will be used, and I'll be showing my cards. Nice try.
That's right. That's right.
Nice try.
Hey, Chris wrote that. Hey, Chris wrote that question, not me.
Gotta ask.
Nice try. No, but I just told him we're gonna play your game. We're gonna play your game. They're totally two different styles of quarterback. So I didn't want him to go out there and think he had to be, a game manager like Reese. You know what I'm saying? He knows what the holes and stuff is. I want you to play your game. We go keep it simple. We go take what they give us. The rain did play a big factor for us because I know they receivers got hands and they pretty much catch everything thrown at them. So I know the weather did play a little, to our favor because we was able just to run the ball. And then when he did throw it, we caught everything that, he threw because, just worked our way down the field. And like I told him, it's like, just go out there and have fun. Go out there and have fun. And then at the end of the day, we go see who comes out on top. Don't go out there and try to sling and put up 40 and do all this because that's not what this game was about. This game was just about us winning and getting back on track.
Right.
Now, looking at the current standings, Coach, you guys have a steep slope to climb come the playoffs. One of the things is definitely going to be emphasized is travel. So what are you looking for? What are you looking at as we head into the last weeks of play to kind of like try to build momentum to get guys ready for that having to be the journey you guys have to take to get that belt?
Well, if anybody knows the history of us, we've always been a gritty team. First year as the Bucks, we was 0-3, and then we went on a tear. Second year as the Bucks, we lost 3 games again, and then we end up winning the championship again. Then when we came over to the PFA, lost 3 games again, but we end up in the championship game. So we're not accustomed to battling to get to where we need to be at. The end game is to be in the championship game, but this time, bring it home. I don't want to be considered, no pun intended, to the Michigan Bills, but I don't want to be the Bills of professional development football. We always make it to the big game but can't win it. So, we're a battle-tested team, so this is nothing new for us. That's nothing new for us. And as far as traveling goes, for the most part, I have a lot of my team that plays the A7FL.
Okay.
And a lot of them had away games. So that's why we traveled light. But going forward, everybody knows what the schedule is. I know, and I say this in the most respectful way, we got the bad boys coming, GCT. We know they go come out and they go bang and play football for 4 quarters. We seen them twice last year. And I know they're not a walkthrough. And then we got the big boys coming in the house. And then we got to travel to Cleveland. So I know our last few games is going to be tough ones, but the mindset of the team now is by any means necessary. We go grind it out for 4 quarters. We're not going to get complacent. We're not going to think we're just going to steamroll over a team. And it's fundamentals. Back to the fundamentals.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, Coach, because like I had a private conversation with Mo before you guys actually played against the Gators, and I was basically telling him, like, it's all about what happens in the playoffs. There's been times where you had to take the show on the road. You know what I mean? But every single game that you guys even have lost this season, even with key guys not being in there or what may have you, you've always been close games. You know, there's not been games where you guys just totally just been out-coached or out-manned. You know what I mean? So that's at least something that I would say, you know, you can hang your hat on when you're in battle, as you said, battle tested. You know, so when you get in those situations come playoff time, you've already been there. And going up against the Gators with 20 brave souls definitely put you feeling comfortable when you're in that position down something, you know what I'm saying, down some points in the playoff game. You feel me? So it's a big game next week. You know, the Ravens against the Dukes. We always talk X's and O's with you, Coach. So what are some things you see in that huge contest playing out? Number of undefeated teams, Ravens, of course, 1A, Dukes, 2A. What do you see some keys to the game of either team winning?
I knew this question was gonna come up, and I had my answers, and then I thought about it. I'm just gonna keep it straight with you guys. I'm not gonna speak on this game because no matter what I say, in certain people's eyes, I'm gonna be a hater. You know what I'm saying? It's just football. It's just my views on how I see both teams matching up. So my inbox and my name and screenshots and shit don't end up all over the place. I'm not really it's gonna be a good game. I'm not gonna do no predictions on none of that. Just because I don't want that.
You don't want to turn into a meme like Chris did last week.
Well, it's not even a meme, man. Some people just they think they know football,
right,
and they think just because another person don't necessarily agree with how their success is and stuff like that, then now you become a hater. And it's not that I'm speaking on just me comparing two different teams, you know. But if I say the wrong thing, then I'm a hater, and you know I should be cheering for this and I should be cheering for that. But at the end of the day, I'm a football fan. You know what I'm saying? I look at it as from top to bottom, strength of schedule, power players, key players, you know, coaching styles, adjustments throughout the season. I look at all of that. But then again, like I said, with some people who don't. So if I say something they don't agree with, I'm a hater.
Yeah. I totally understand where you're coming from.
I don't want nobody thinking that I'm rooting for the hometown. Just because I live in Cincinnati doesn't mean that I have to root for every Cincinnati team.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just, you know, a better team, then it's a better team. Let's just put it like this. Would I like to see the Dukes win? Hell yeah. Because that means every team in the PFA done lost.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it. Every team in the PFA done took an L. So I'm like, yeah, and then it benefits us by the Ravens losing. You know? Yeah. But then on the flip side, the Ravens are the number one team, and then they're a PFA team. So if I root for them, now I'm rooting against the home team. So I you know, doesn't matter how you flip the coin.
Yeah, you got to stay neutral in this one.
So it's gonna be a good game. I'm looking forward to catching some of the highlights. I'm not gonna really focus on it because I know right now me and my guys are focused on GCT right now. And then at halftime I'll look for the updates, and then at the end of the game I'll see what the results were. But may the best team win. Right.
Well, Coach, thanks again for joining us. Always good to have you on. I'm glad you're feeling better. Stay healthy, and good luck this week against Glass City, sir.
All right, appreciate you guys.
Have a good night.
All right, man.
All right.
Coach.
That was Coach Wheeler of the Sin City Bucks. They looked to make a late season run and move up in the rankings, which will be a tough task. But if they can win out, that might be a possibility. So currently sitting 6th in the rankings out of 16, so they would play the number 3 seed if the playoffs started today, Chris. So
Hey, that's like I said, it's gonna be some tough sledding because you're basically going on the road for at least
Uh-oh. Think we lost Chris. Chris, you there? There he is.
you're at least
Yeah, I lost you for a second.
you're at least going on the you're at least going on the road at least the first two games of the playoffs. So travel is definitely, like I said, it's going to be huge for them because we all know once playoff time comes, the roster comes to the games. If you're the home team,
Right.
if you're using 95% of your team is going to show up. So you have to be, as a away team, you have to come, like Coach said, with some dogs. You gotta come prepared because it's definitely going to be a battle, especially in our league with the teams that we have. I don't know who's currently sitting number 3. I want to say it might have been the Gators.
I'll tell you. Hang on.
Either Gators or BTS.
The Rams are. I think it's the. Let's see. It's the Ravens, the Rams, and then the Gators, and then the Bills are number 4 right now.
They would end up playing the Gators again. So this game was really huge for them to know to themselves that they can win on the road.
Right.
You know, if the playoffs will start today, this is the team that they will end up facing. So I mean, these next couple of weeks is going to be very tricky.
It's going to shake them up.
Yeah, especially in 3A, it's going to get very tricky. We got teams. We only got one undefeated team now left. We had 3 at one point in time. Now we only have 1, and they are continuously trying to get knocked off that pedestal. All right, So those teams fighting for that second position is really what's needed because first top 2 teams get bye weeks.
Yeah.
In the first round, so that second seed is what everybody is really fighting for right now with just 3 weeks left to go. The only team that is closer, because I think all the other teams up under them have 2 losses. So the Ravens will have to lose twice in order for anybody to even think they could overtake.
And then they would even if they lost twice, it'd still be close.
Somewhat, not really, because we are point based. So the 50 balls. The 50 balls.
I mean, they have a 187 point differential. So, in the positive, and the closest one to them right now is the Rams at 71. So the Rams got 71 point differential, and then the Gators are at 17. And then you get down to like the Bills at negative 25, or actually the Bills are 5th, I think, because Glass City had the Glass. I don't know. Actually, the Bills are 4th because of the tiebreakers. They beat the Glass City and Sin City, I think. So, but yeah, Coach, have you heard from Coach Henderson yet, or is he?
He was trying to get on, and I told him that he needed to copy and paste. So let me hit him up real quick again before we go to break. But what we can do is, man, we'll go ahead and go to break, Brian. When we come back, we'll just start to preview next week's games, man. Well, I try to get.
We'll do the power rankings first, and then we'll see if Henderson gets on. But you're watching a rundown. We'll be right back.
Hey, y'all, this is Aaron Sanders, owner of the Flag City Phantoms, and you're watching a rundown, baby. Let's go.
Oops, I played that twice. I mean, lost you, Chris. Let's see. There we go. All All right. So while we're waiting for Coach Henderson to jump in, we'll go ahead and take a look at the Week 7 power rankings. The Week 7 power rankings are powered by the Interstate 75 Bowl Series. With that being said, we'll jump right into it. Week 7 over into 2A.
We're gonna have to send Coach the call-in number. He said he's having difficulties with the stream.
That's fine. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass to jump in or use the copy, especially if you're on your phone. It's a little harder. But we'll go through some PFA power rankings and some PFA news while we're waiting on him to call. Unless he calls, and I'll
make sure I give him the right number.
He might be at practice too. I know he has practice on Thursday.
Yeah, he said him and his coaches were trying to work to get it on or whatever. It's just crazy. Okay. There it goes. One second, I'll give him this number. All right, so we'll just go ahead and keep going right here with this until he's able to get on. But I just sent him the number.
Okay.
Power rankings 2A. What we got going on Week 7? Oh, at the lonely bottom. There lies the Warriors. Been there all season. Still can't get out the basement. Sitting at an uncomfortable 0-6.
Hey, they got one win during the preseason. Then we got at 1-5 the Neo Pit Bulls. They got their win last week. Unfortunately, it was a forfeit win, but hey, a win's a win, and a well-needed rest for them last week. So I'm glad they got that.
So now we'll be able to see what a well-rested Pitbull team will be able to do coming up this week as they go up against the number 2 seed this week, the Northern Kentucky Wolfpack, who sit at 4-2 and 6-4 overall. And again, like I said, they have been on a 4-game winning.
I think Coach Henderson's. Hey, Coach. Good. Hang on just a second. We'll get you going here. All right, so we're back, and joining us on the phone right now is the coach of the Glass City Tigers, getting ready for his matchup against the Sin City Bucks. Coach Henderson's on the phone. How you doing tonight, Coach? We're doing great. Thanks for jumping on. I know you got some practice going on, but Chris and I wanted to talk to you a little bit. You've been missing us a couple times. We're trying to get you on the show the last couple of weeks, so we're glad we got you on finally. So,
can we hear? I can't hear.
You can't hear him, Chris?
I can't hear.
Uh-oh. Hang on. Hang on. Let me see. Can you hear him now, Chris?
No. Coach, are you there, Coach?
Yeah, can you hear me, Chris?
I can hear you.
Yeah, he's on.
Okay.
Yeah, he can hear both of us.
All right, cool.
For some reason, I'm not sure why you can't hear him.
I don't know. Go ahead. Coach,
So, Coach, you're getting ready for the game this week. How's practice going tonight and the last practice before the game on Saturday? So how's it going so far? There you go. I know this is a pretty big game for both teams. And you guys are both teams are coming off of a win last week. The Bucks obviously they beat the Gators in Michigan. You guys last seconds of the game scored a touchdown to beat the Flag City Phantoms. Tell us about that game because it was a rivalry game. So we know that was a big game for both you and the Phantoms, but you guys came out with the victory. Tell us a little bit how that game went.
Hey, Brian, they can't hear him. Tell him to turn up his phone or something.
Definitely. I don't know. I can hear you fine. Everybody's saying they can't hear us. So your volume's low. Chris, can you hear him now or no?
No.
I can hear you fine, Coach. I'm not sure it might just be the.
I hear him through your AirPods.
I apologize. Normally the phone thing works, and I'm not sure why Chris can't hear you, but
it's all good.
But we appreciate you coming. We appreciate you jumping on. I know you got practice, so we won't keep you too long, Coach. We'll have you on again soon. Good luck this week against the Sin City Bucks, and we'll be definitely watching the game. Okay, appreciate. We'll see you soon, Coach. You too. Bye. Yeah, I'm not sure. J Love. He was going in and out. It might be because he was at practice. If he was on his Bluetooth, that might have been an issue too. But the game of the week for 2A is Flag City and the Pit Bulls, I think.
Pit Bulls versus North.
Yeah. The Wolfpack versus the Pit Bulls, and then 3A is obviously the Ravens and the Dukes. So those are our game of the week picks. So not sure what that was. I think it was probably the Bluetooth issue. So
yeah, that was crazy.
But we'll get Coach Henderson on again. So
jump back into these power rankings. Jump back into these power rankings for the 2A. We were at number 2. Wolfpack sit at number 2 in the 2A power rankings for week 7. Again, applying strong. They closed out these last 2 weeks of football, and somehow the Phantoms fluster. They will definitely be heading into the number 1 spot, and that's something that Flag City definitely does not want to happen. That means they will have to host the Pit Bulls again, where they had a hell of a game. But this time you'll be playing a more well-rested, probably more manned Pit Bulls. So always tough sledding when you have to play an opponent twice, especially in the playoffs. Sitting at number 1, you definitely have Flag City Phantoms. They're going to be playing the Indiana Assassins this week in outer league play. Hopefully they can get the win and still keep the better overall record.
We'll talk about that in a few minutes when we get into our Week 7 previews, and also about the prediction for the Dukes and the Ravens. J Love, we'll answer that here in a few minutes because we're going to get into our Week 7 stuff. But that's the 2A rankings for the Week 7. It's getting the top 2 teams is really the 2 teams that are getting kind of close and going to, the bottom 2 teams, unfortunately, they make the playoffs. They really, Chris, they said they could barely hear you. Now I can't hear you at all. No, I can't hear you. Your audio went out. Can you hear me? Chris, can't hear you. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Tell him to take the Temu headphones off. Okay. Yeah, for some reason we have technical difficulties every other show sometimes, and I think it's just the glitch in the stream that we're using. Sometimes it's not perfect. So, yeah, Fred, he got the message, and we appreciate it, J Love. Hope everything's going well on your end over there with your stuff too. Let's see. Why didn't... I'm trying to load the power rankings on here. That's good, J Love. That's all you can really hope for, right? All right. There we go. While Chris is trying to get back in, we'll go over 3A rankings. Sitting down at number 6, we have the Sin City Bucks, who just came off that win. There he is. There we go. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Yeah, you were kind of gurgling a little bit. So
hey, Fred said my team. Hey, these is 5 and below, Fred. And they below 5 right now.
Hey, it's our first year. We'll have them up better next year. We promise. Our first season. So just getting into the 3A rankings, Chris. I started with the Sin City Bucks, and so obviously they're number 6 at 3-3 overall, 3-3 because no one wanted to play them during the regular season. So, and number 5 we have the Glass City Tigers. We just talked to Coach Henderson. They're 3-3. Both of those teams play each other this weekend, so that's going to really shake up that 5 and 6 spot.
Yeah, I think honestly, I'm going to be quite frank with you. The only easy game that's coming up this weekend for the 3 opponents is the Bills take on Lima. So you might as well go ahead and write that in there.
That's almost not even a fair matchup, man. I would have just gave the Lima Warriors a forfeit win and just let them have a break. I mean, that's kind of honest. That's a little harsh on them. You know, those guys have been through a lot this season.
You're gonna get this. You're gonna get this work.
Even the Pimples got a break, man. Come on. So sitting at number 3.
So they're 4-3. I thought they're 4. The Sin City should be 4-3. They beat the Pimples in the ref clinic.
Okay, so preseason. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll change that.
Thank you, Jimmy.
The Sin City Bucks didn't play in the. Did they?
Yeah. I was there.
Okay. Okay, so I'll make that in my.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it will be adjusted for next week. The Michigan Bills are number 4. They moved up a couple spots from the previous weeks. Sitting at 3-3, but they hold the tiebreaker over the Glass City Tigers and the Sin City Bucks. That's the only reason why they're at number 4. Overall, they're 6-3, so not a bad season for them. They play Lima this week, so you might as well just go ahead and give them that win. And
hey, but go in focused. Don't go in lazy. Go in focused though. But that's an easy dub right there. Some good work. Get some good work in. Yeah, the 2 versus 3 and the 5 versus 6 games we got coming up this week is gonna be crazy. Because the Gators definitely want to rebound. They're on a 2-game skid right now. So they definitely want to rebound from that, and they definitely don't want to take, because if they take another loss,
that basically kind of leaves BTA kind of in cruise control at that point. In that second position, and then
Because let's see,
that ends up putting the Gators down in the mess with everybody else with 3 losses.
but
the
Rams,
you want to stay above the muck. Put it like
the Rams do have a pretty tough schedule coming up. They have Glass City, Ravens, and the Dukes. So depending on how the Dukes do tomorrow or Saturday against the Ravens is we'll see how. That's the end. That's the last game of the season. So, I mean, and for the Gators, I mean, they play the Wolfpack, they play the Bills, and they finish out with the Michigan Hurricanes. So, I mean,
they got a little bit more easier schedule at the end, brother. They got a little bit more. So that's why this game is a little bit more meat. They have to get this win because those 3 games you just called off. Those are not easy wins, but those are opponents that they should be able to win against.
Minus the Bills, they at least have the 2. That's at least 2 wins they should have no problem. I mean, the Hurricanes are a good team.
2 games they should have.
Yeah, Hurricanes are not a bad team. They're pretty decent. But yeah. And then, of course, at number 1, Detroit Ravens.
Good old
I mean, obviously, it's going to take a lot to knock them off that number 1 spot. I think Chris and I talked about it earlier. They would have to lose at least 2 games in the next couple of weeks to even come close to losing that number 1 seed. So the
road is going to have to go through Detroit.
The road is going through the Ravens, yep. So for the 2A, if the playoffs started, look at my nice graphic made by Nicole. Nicole, our graphic designer, made that for me. Appreciate her work. Excellent work. I didn't do one for the 3A yet because it's not getting close, but if the playoffs were to start right now for the 2A, this is what it would look like. And obviously the higher seeds host the game. And stuff like that. So that is that. Speaking of playoffs, 3A does go a bit longer than the 2A. And I lost you again, Chris. I can't hear you. Oh, okay. Having issues again, but we'll get them straight. We'll see if he jumps back on. We're going to take a short little break. See if Chris can jump back on. And we're back. I can hear you now.
Gotcha.
All right. So I was just going over some of the 3A does go a little longer than the 2A, so the playoffs will start 7:20 for the 3A. 6:29 is the first round of playoffs for the 2A. 1 versus 4, 3 versus 2. Highest seed hosts that round, with the championship being held at the highest seed on July 6th for the 2A. For the 3A, like I said, first 1 and 2 get a bye, first round bye, and then 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5. Again, same highest seed host. And then for the second round, the winner of 3 versus 6 will play number 1, and number 4 and 5 will play number 2. Championship game is going to be on August 3rd for the 3A. So there's a couple weeks difference there. We'll get more information as it gets closer, and we'll make sure we get that out to everybody.
1 second. Can't never find what I'm trying to find. We're gonna go ahead and tap into these pick'ems here in a little bit.
What are you looking for?
I'm just looking for this flyer real quick.
Oh, okay.
But I said we can go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and do the pick'ems here in a minute. I see somebody said take the Cincinnati Dukes.
Yeah, Nick Curry, whoever that is. I'm not sure who that is. Some other things going on in the crossover. There's some crossover league games that we want to, big game in the MCFL. The Indy Bison take on the Southern Indiana Bobcats at Bobcats home field. It is Cancer Awareness Night, so it should be a great game for a great cause. Both teams are well coached and has definitely become a rival game for Indiana. Both teams have had crossover games with the PFA. So, like I said earlier, we'd like to throw some support out to those guys that supported us. And we'll talk about the big game this week. The BCFL number 1 2A teams, Cincinnati Dukes, take on the number 1 3A team, Detroit Ravens. We'll get into more of that in just a second. Dukes are looking to derail the Ravens, their 33-0 win streak. We'll see how that goes for them. And, yeah, so we'll just go right ahead and jump right into our pick'ems, Chris.
For sure.
Now, normally I would pick the underdog in this, but I'm sorry, Lima. I can't get it lost because Chris will just I'm that close from catching him. I'm that close, so I have to pick the Bills this week.
First of all, in this situation, and you'd be crazy. I'd be crazy not to pick the Bills.
Right.
It'd be kind of disrespectful. This is an 0-6 team. I respect what the Bills have been through, taking some tough losses, but again against good opponents. So Bills Mafia takes care of business, wins comfortably.
If they don't score at least 40 points in this game, I'm going to consider it a loss. And they can mark the tape, they can make me a meme, I don't care. But if you only score 25 points, then
you gonna give that win to Lima? If they only score
No, I'm still going to give the win to Bills, but it's still going to be technically it's a win, but they should win by at least 50.
Right.
And no knock to Lima. I really rooting for those guys. I know it doesn't seem like it because we give them a lot of crap. And why isn't my thing? Hang on, my stuff's not working. Hang on a second. Let me fix this. There we go. Next game. Let's talk about the Flag City Phantoms, Chris. They go down to play the Indiana Assassins. And this is another game. If they don't score 50 points against this team, I'm going to be upset.
Well, they better go down there. I'm worried. Let me say that. I'm worried because I don't know which Phantom team I'm going to see. Am I going to see the Phantom team that showed up against the Pit Bulls and was able to put up a 50 ball? Or am I going to get the Phantoms that showed up against GCT last week and could only put up 17 points?
Now,
so that's my worry when it comes to that. The Indiana Assassins, they're not a horrible team, but they are a team that, if let in the game, can probably make plays and sneak a victory.
They'll beat you with 12 players if you let them.
Hey,
we know
a team they did beat with 12 players. So
yeah, so anything can happen. But
I better see the Phantoms from 2 weeks ago. That's what I'm saying.
There better be a long stat sheet for this game, and a lot of scoring better go on.
A lot of scoring.
let's just make sure that there's a game first before we get that far. Or make sure the Assassins have a field and all that before they drive down to Indianapolis.
All right, let's pray for that.
Yeah. Fingers
Moving
crossed.
on.
Moving on. Michigan Gators versus the Motor City Rams. This is a tough game to pick,
2
man.
versus 3. This is a battle for playoff implications. Who will be the 2 seed? Who will be holding? I won't say who will be the 2 seed, but who will be holding firm of the 2 seed moving forward into the playoffs. This game is huge for the Gators. They are coming off of 2 losses to 2 good teams. So they need to definitely rebound and get back on their winning ways. This is also a chance for BTA that had a bye week, had some times to get themselves together. They had a loss their last time out. So both teams are coming in this game looking for a win. I'm going to go the latter. I know everybody thinks that, the offense for Michigan Gators is a potent, but what we learned last week when they lost was that they are very one-dimensional. And I think BTA will be able to do a lot against them. So I'm taking the Rams.
I'm going with the Rams too, as well on this one. So, yeah, we'll see how that falls. Fred said he's got Rams by a touchdown, and Nick Curry said he's falling asleep, guys. So,
Oh, sorry, Nick.
so am I, Nick. It's
Appreciate
past
you.
my bedtime, man. It's past my bedtime. This game right here, the Cincinnati Bucks versus the Michigan. Oh, man. See, I tell you what kind of week I had. It's supposed to be the that's all fucked up, man. What the hell was I doing? Anyways, the Cincinnati Bucks versus the Glass City Tigers. Man, I mean, both teams coming off a big win last week. I don't know, man. Who you got? Who you picking?
I'm taking the Bucks. I'm taking the Bucks. I think it's like Coach said, it's their time to go on a run, and it's time and playoff time is right around the corner. They found their core. They found their 20 soldiers that they can hang their hats on, and that's something good to feel about going through the rest of the season. So I'm gonna take the Bucks winning this one, man, and getting back on track for the playoffs.
Every week there has to be one disagreement. So I'm going to go with this game, and I'm going to pick the Glass City Tigers just because it's a hard pick. So I'm going to just pick the Glass City Tigers.
Okay.
And we lost Chris again. Damn it.
I got Devin Draker in here from the Dukes. Glad to see you came in here. They was on media silence. They can't speak to the media. I was trying to get interviews with Mike Clay, and they have been told to go radio silent during game week this week.
Which is unusual for a football team to do, right? To go radio silence and not talk any smack.
Right. So yeah, I'm glad you guys came in to the show today.
All right, our 2A game of the week goes to. Yeah, Mike, we know people don't listen. You always got one or two in the crowd that can't keep their mouth shut. So that's true. This is a big game for both teams, definitely. So our 2A game of the week goes to the Northern Kentucky Wolfpack and the Neo Pit Bulls. The record for the Pit Bulls doesn't reflect the talent of their team, that is for sure. Like I said, they're a brand new team this year. So, man, this is a hard game to pick, dude. Hard game to pick. I just feel like the Wolfpack is on a roll, and I'm going to go with the Wolfpack.
Listen, I got in this one, I'm going to be honest with you. Wolfpack definitely are a different team than they were when the Pitbulls played them the first time. And I can say the same thing about the Pitbulls. The Pitbulls are a different team than the Wolfpack played this last time. But in this game, until I can see a healthy Pitbull team, I'm going to take the Wolfpack.
Yeah.
I know that the Pitbulls are just dealing with a lot of injuries, especially up front. So until they can get that line 100% back together, I'm gonna take the Wolfpack on this one. Like I said, granted, they're going to see each other again, hopefully. But if I'm me, and I am me, I would honestly want the Wolfpack to beat me, so that way I could play the Phantoms.
Yeah.
I would actually want that more first round again, and then have to play the Wolfpack in the championship game.
True. And you know what happens when a team plays a team more than once in a season?
Right.
You know, sometimes a team can beat the same team 3 times in a season, and then, or 2 times in a season, and come playoff time, they don't do so well. So, don't tell my game plan.
Hey, I'm not telling them the game plan, Coach. I'm just saying if I was just, you know what I'm saying, in that position, what I would be thinking, because that would just be the smartest thing to do, in my estimation. Not saying I'm gonna go in and try to lose a game, but it's not necessarily a bad thing if I lose the game. You know what I mean? I go into every game trying to win, but if I lose, it kind of helps me a little bit more than winning the game, per se. If I win the game, I got to play the Wolfpack again first round. If I lose the game, Wolfpack continues their winning streak, probably wins another game. Phantoms.
Then you still got to play them in the playoffs again. The Pitbulls would have to play them again if they, you know what I'm saying? Like, so all kinds of scenarios can come up.
Mike said the Bucks 14-0 against the. Oh, you got. And the coach of the pit, Jimmy, just said he's sitting a lot of his guys this week. Because, like I said, they have a lot of injury, man. They got a lot of injury. And so I'm not expecting to see the full Pitbull team until playoff time.
Right. And I mean, why? I mean, it makes sense because you only got 2 games left. And your last game is a 21-0 forfeit win. So I think, yeah. Duncan.
If I gotta rest my bones, get some of these young guys out here, get some experience. Like I said, hey, maybe snatch a win, build some confidence. Then that's what we'll do. But I got
then you go. You get another week off to rest on top of that, resting your starters before your playoff game. So I mean, looking outside, looking in.
I can say the same thing about the Wolfpack that I can say about the Pitbulls. Like I said, they're a different team now. The Pitbulls didn't have a real quarterback when they played against the Wolfpack the last time. Now they have Marquello. You know what I'm saying? Marquello. So, you know, a lot of things have changed for both teams in good ways. So, I mean, it definitely is going to be an interesting game to watch. I'm not going to lie. We also will see if the Wolfpack travel well. This is a game that's going to be hosted in Canton by the Pitbulls. So we'll see if they also can will travel well. They might also think, hey, we're gonna play them again anyway. Why send everybody? So it's a lot of, you know, some things is chess, not checkers, when it comes to seeding and the end of the season. Who we got?
That's right. So next we got the game that everybody's been waiting for us to talk about.
Oh man.
We got the 6-0 Detroit Ravens, number 1 team in 3A in the nation, against I don't know Cincinnati Dukes' record. I'm sure they're undefeated. So
yes, they are.
Number 1 2A team in the country going up to Detroit. I know. Both teams are great. You know, the Ravens are on a 33-game win streak. Up until this week, really, they haven't been stopped. They've had some bumps and some stuff that okay, this might be the week, but every week they came back and adjusted in the second half and came back out with a victory, no matter how close it was or how big the margin of victory was. So, Javon, you missed it. I mean, if you guys don't win by 50, I'm going to make you a meme. I'm going to make you guys a meme. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But you're my boy, Javon. I wouldn't do that.
Hey, right now, since we're talking about this game, and this is the game that everybody wants to talk about, this segment of the show is our call-in segment, all right? You see the number down below, all right? Call in. We're going to talk about this game, Dukes against the Ravens. We want to hear your predictions. Keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it funky. But this is brought to you by Putty's Kitchen. This week, Putty's Kitchen in Akron, Ohio at 1714 Merriman Road at 44313 is having the Tank and Martin fight being showed and no cover charge. That's right. I said no cover charge to watch the Tank versus Martin fight this Saturday from 8 p.m. to 1 p.m. You can check it out at Putty's Lounge, Putty's Bar and Grill. Again, that's down in the Valley, 1714 Merriman Road, Akron, Ohio. So everybody who's in the chat right now, man, you see the number. Push your fingers. Call in. We want to hear from you real quick. We're going to do this. This is the last game we're talking about for the night. We can kill two birds with one stone. Let you guys call in since we got some people in the chat. Obviously, share your opinion, and we can get this thing going and get out of here for the evening.
All right. I think Fred Smith is going to call in, so there he is. Hey, Fred Smith, you're on the rundown. What's up, buddy? Ravens by 20. Chris, can you hear the phone now?
I still can't hear the phones this time. I don't know what's going on.
I'm not sure. Fred said Ravens by 20, and you got to take those Temu headphones out.
Already did.
Fred, why do you think the Ravens are going to win by 20? Good point. Yeah, can't wait till Saturday to see it, man. Thanks for calling in, and we'll definitely call in anytime you want, man. Hopefully, Chris can hear you. Tell him that he needs to take those Temu earphones out next time.
Appreciate it, Fred.
There we go.
Hey,
have a good night.
Evans said Dukes up 22-16. Got the Dukes winning, Nate Evans. See, a lot of people. We got to fix. I don't know what's going on. See, they can't hear Fred either.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Our call-in feature tonight.
I'm not sure. I don't know, man. I don't know.
No, it's not your fault. But it's just.
No, I don't know what's going on. It's like acting weird tonight for some reason.
It doesn't want to work this evening. Finally, when we have people who want to call in.
It's always something, man. It's always something.
That's great. Any other time, it's cool. But now it don't want to work. But to my prediction for the game, since we got this going, I would love to take the Dukes. I would. I'm an Ohio guy through and through. I love rooting for Ohio teams whenever it's Ohio team versus a Michigan team. I also love an underdog. I also love the fact that they have some talented players over there. Mike Clay being one of them. I know they have a stout defense over there. They've been putting up points. But the standard is the standard. If I'm being quite honest and taking the page out of my own Pittsburgh Steelers book, and that's what the Ravens are. They have been the standard for the last 33 games. They have been the standard for the last 3 years. So if you wanna beat a champ, and I've always looked at it like this: if you want to beat a champ, you gotta beat the champ. So until you able to beat a team, a quality team in my eyes, like the Ravens, because the Ravens have went out and beat Racine. The Ravens have went out and beat Dallas Prime.
Yeah.
You know, teams that we look at of high caliber. Dukes, this is their chance to do that. I just don't think they're going to be able to get it done. The Ravens are, I think they're getting a little agitated that they got a lot of, you know, they haven't been picked on this much this year as usual. Everybody usually, you know, Ravens. It's been a lot of chirpy talk this year about if the Ravens still have it, if the Ravens can do it, because there are a lot of good teams coming up. Shout out to BTH, shout out to the Gators, shout out to the Bills. There are a lot of good football teams that are getting better, and that's why these conversations have started to happen. So I'm taking the Ravens, but I'm gonna take the Ravens in a close game. Dare near I say overtime for real. If Dukes come out and play hard and play consistent and play controlled sound football, I think they can definitely give them a test. I don't think that the Ravens are going to come out and throttle the Dukes. I don't think the Dukes are scared of them. But I will say that I think the Dukes are, like I said, they're tired of, you know, they're sitting up on the mountain. And you got all these ants starting to come and trying to get on your picnic. And that's what's been happening all year. So that's why that's where the frustration comes from a Jerry, you know, Jerry Weston. You know, it makes me a meme and things because this is what we're talking about here. This is what we're talking about here. We're talking about good football being played by other teams other than the Ravens, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But I'm definitely looking for a close game. Not even gonna lie, but in a close game, I'm gonna lean towards the Ravens. I don't want to give a score because I think sometimes score don't really tell the truth about the game for real. You know what I mean? It might be a close game all the way up until the fourth quarter, and then, you know, something happened, and then some fluke stuff happened, and now you up 21. But it's been close all game.
Right.
So sometimes the score really doesn't tell the true tale. So I can't wait to watch it. I definitely can't wait to watch it. Can't wait to see the execution by both coaching staffs, adjustments being made. I can't wait to see who's gonna guard Mike Clay. To be honest with you, I see the Ravens then went got some boys out of retirement to come back this week. No shade, but it's just been seemed like y'all been loading up for these boys. And if I'm the Dukes, I take that as a compliment.
There you go.
Take it as a compliment.
So who do they get out of retirement?
Yeah, I think it's the DB too. So it's like, is y'all bringing him? Is y'all bringing him out to guard Mike? Is that what the whole thing is? And then, like Devon just said, the battle of the D line and their O line. We know the Ravens got a solid O line, So, are you gonna be able to get pressure on Webster? Are you gonna be able to knock him off his stoop, make him feel uncomfortable?
He's the leading passer in the league right now. He has, like 17 touchdowns on just last time I checked. I'm still working on the stats of Dave Smith. So,
they say they better load up is smoke over here. I hear you.
So, is it Devon? What?
I know Devon for sure plays for the Dukes.
Other than the
let's play for him too.
Let's ask this question, Dukes, because I don't know your guys' schedule, and I know you guys played some PFA teams, but who else do you guys play other than the PFA teams on your schedule this year? I'm just curious if you could put it in the chat and let me know so I have that knowledge in front of me. Just curious. I just want to see.
We know y'all don't duck no smoke.
Yeah, we know you definitely don't duck smoke if you're playing PFA teams.
You're playing PFA teams, man. But what we are saying is, you know, again, there is levels to this. Now,
Virginia Mustangs.
If you would have came in here and your resume would read that of their resume, If you came into this game on a 33-game winning streak, if you came in this game with winning three straight years of dominant football, league championships and national championships, then yeah, we would be having a different kind of conversation. But you're a young team who's just getting started in moving towards that.
Right.
You're playing a team who's already there. It's a big difference. So, like I said, I do plan it to be a close game. If Ravens don't come ready and focused, if they take y'all lightly, y'all can probably sneak them. But I think
we've seen that happen a couple.
Like I said, but I think the Ravens, because of everything going on, because of all the talk, because of everything that's been happening this season, like Jerry told me, they be watching, they be listening. So that lets me know it's starting to get to them. Certain things are going to get to you when you are a champion. And people thinking that other teams are better than yours and that they can possibly beat y'all, it does put a little extra chip on your shoulder to show how great of a team that you are.
That's true.
So,
and when you have a chip on your shoulder, sometimes you're not focused going into a big game like this. You're trying to prove something to everybody.
Nick, I understand you've only lost 4 games in 4 years. I played for a team who only lost 3 games in 4 years. It's about the longevity of the situation. This ain't the first winning streak they've had.
Right.
This is like the second or third. If you check their history books, they've had longer winning streaks. This is just the current one that they're on right now. Like their record and winning percentage is ridiculous. That's why I said the Dukes right now, you are at the beginning of that journey. Right. You're at the beginning stage of that journey, of that race. They're already at the end. They're in the middle of that race. They're towards the end of it. They've accomplished so much in the longevity of 10, 15 years of being in existence. That's what I'm saying. That's like saying that the Ravens, the Racine. Racine has 70 years of winning.
Right.
Countless numbers of wins, countless times that they went on win streaks. This is just the current one that this team, the Ravens, just happens to be on.
And like I said, we're all about a great game here, and we just want to see great football. We've seen a couple game of the year. We had the Bison and the Bucks, the first game of the season, game of the year candidate. Then the Ravens and the Bison, second game of the season. That was a great game. So I don't doubt that this is going to be one of the top 3 games of the year for the PFA and for the rundown to talk about for especially for a couple of years to come, probably until something better. But like Chris said, 33-0. You can't really argue with that. I know they've had some holes in their armor this year, and some you can see some of the light shining through where the teams kind of go at them and get ahead, and then they go at halftime, make some adjustments, and then it's over with. Just like win by 30 last week. The Bills came in.
Okay,
not the same
Nick,
team.
if we talking, hold on real quick, Brian, because I got to nip this in the bud. Nick, if we talking about now, name me over the last 4 years what top 3-8 team y'all took down. Not 2-18, 3-18.
Right.
What top 3-8 team did you take down? That's what we talking about. You are the number 1 2-8 team in the nation. What 3-8 team in the 4 years that was notable did you take down?
Nobody. They cheated the Bills. How'd they cheat the Bills? Nick, don't blame the refs. Don't blame the refs either. I don't want to hear that excuse.
All I'm saying is this. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great atmosphere. This is all I ask of you guys. And I'm going to say this on record because we just had that crazy incident this past weekend in the A7 League. Don't be that guy, man.
Yeah, don't be an idiot.
Don't be that guy. Everybody's coming out there to play football. Leave everything in between the white lines. don't make nothing not about football. Don't make nothing not about football. Yes, Nick, we watched the games.
We watch all the games every week.
And that was one play, bro. I know exactly what you're talking about. Stop hanging your hat on one play.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I'm trying to tell y'all is please play with some professionalism. Please play with intensity. Play with heart, all that. But leave it between the lines. Respectfully. We want a clean, physical, hard game this weekend. And
Scott, we're talking.
Both of y'all play at y'all highest capabilities. Like I said, I think it might go into overtime.
Scott, we're talking about
I think y'all have a great team. I think this is a great matchup against the Ravens. To finally actually play a team who knows how to finish. Understand what I'm saying? A lot of teams that they just got done playing, yeah, they were good teams, but they didn't know how to finish.
And
this is also a good test for the Dukes because again, name me 1 3A power team you have beat in the last 4 years.
Ohio Bears winning the TPFL Tier 2.
Ohio Bears. Shout out to the Ohio Bears in the TPFL Tier 2.
Based on Joker. Bet on Joker number 20. Who does Joker play for, Nate? Is that the Dukes or is that the Ravens? Scott, what do you think?
The reason why, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because I have nothing but respect for the Dukes. Nothing but respect for the Dukes. I've been a 2A team that played up against 3A teams. I've been a 3A team that's played powerhouse 2A teams. You know what I'm saying before. But when you're in that upper echelon of the top 2A teams, you play 3A teams. Because quite frankly, the 2A teams, you smacking them all the time. So you play 3A teams. So that's why my question is, in the last 4 years, he said they only lost 4 games. Okay, out of all them wins that you got, name me the 3A powerhouse that you took down.
That's a good question. I respect that question. I mean.
Oh, he said that's him. Dude.
Okay.
All right. We're going to be looking. I'm watching the game. I'm definitely going to be tapping into the live, so I'll be there. I know National Players usually goes live. I know we have a scheme from Footage Talk. It's going to be there as well. So we definitely, the game will be, you check our rundown page. I'll be sharing it for sure. So definitely tap in because we definitely going to be into that game. We'll have, matter of fact, every Saturday, we'll have all the, we play who on the schedule. Right. You duck and smoke. I don't want this. Okay. You just now trying to slide on the smoke train. That's cool. And that's cool. That's where you need to be at. You need to be where all the smoke is at. But in the last 4 years, bro, you haven't played a powerhouse 3A team. That's just a fact. That's nothing against y'all. Y'all played everybody they put in front of you. That's a fact. That is a fact. You win an
and who makes the schedule? Your owner, which is the head of the league, right? He makes the schedule for all the. I mean, all the teams go in and make the schedule together. But was there no other?
I tell you this much though. This much though, Nick. If Slash keeps messing with Dunk, you won't be ducking. You won't be ducking smoke no more. Because you're gonna get all the PFA work you can handle.
Yeah.
For the rest of the years to come. So if that's the case, you got talent.
No more words. Just sit, watch, and enjoy the show. Saturday, you won't be underdogs no more. All right, Nate. We'll sit and watch.
I hope so, bro. I'm rooting for football right now. I'm rooting for a good game against 2 good, well-coached teams. Yes, I do give the Ravens the edge, but that's not no slight at y'all, man. That's just the fact that 33 games of proving themselves is more than enough for me to say 34 might happen. And these ain't
you guys tell him who we want, and it's on him to set it up. So you guys told him that you want all the smoke for the whole season? Is that how it went?
Appreciate that, Devin. I appreciate that, brother. That's all I want, bro. It's a good show, bro. That's the thing. Two things can be right. You can take a loss and still come out looking good. I know people like, I won't take moral victories. Yeah, that's cool. I like victories too. But sometimes when you're playing this and you playing at this level and you play against teams like a Racine, like a Dallas Prime, like a Detroit Ravens, if you've never played that caliber team or you've never been in an environment like that before, it's different. Some of these, and I don't know, I don't know how many Duke players have been in playoff games. I don't know how many Duke players have played at a professional development football level where there's actually been a big crowd, actually been fans cheering. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's what kind of atmosphere is about to be this Friday, and that's good for football. The atmosphere of just two great teams bringing their fans. Detroit having their fans. I know, I played in Detroit. I played against Detroit Ravens. When good teams come to town, they definitely come out to see a game. They definitely come out to see a game. Coach Smith, T. Simpson do a great job of providing a good atmosphere for the game, for that level of football. So if you've never played or in that kind of atmosphere, it's going to be an adjustment for you in that first quarter. It's going to be adjustment for you. Some of it might be a little shell shocking. Because trust me, if you ain't never been to Racine, you kind of don't know what I'm talking about. Because if you ain't never seen a real team come out of a tunnel with smoke and cheerleaders and somebody singing the national anthem and motorcycles,
The whole town there,
and the whole 9 yards, then you won't know what I'm talking about. It's a whole different atmosphere, and
right?
It puts a whole different type of pressure on the game itself. And that's what you're supposed to have, Mr. Nate Evans. You're supposed to have faith in your boys. You should. You're a national champion. I would have faith in myself too. But definitely. I know after being a national champion, it's gotta be something else. It's gotta be another mountain to climb. And that's taking on the juggernauts.
Yeah, that's true. Well, appreciate the chat getting busy in there. We appreciate the the participation from you guys in the chat. And Chris, the only thing I could think of about the phone call thing is when we had when the phone call-in thing was working, we were only on YouTube.
Did we?
Yeah, and we haven't. This is the first time we've been back on, or we did Facebook last week.
This is the second time. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we have to figure that out. I guess it might be a different setting.
No, it might just be Facebook being jackasses and blocking our phone calls or something. I don't know, but we'll have to test it out. But Scott Rademacher, he's stirring the pot in there.
4 possessions. Okay, that's 28 points. It's going to
be a good game. It's going to be a good game. Like I said, we appreciate everybody in the chat. Yeah.
Hey, just go hard, man. Go hard Saturday. Good luck to everybody who's playing Saturday. And again, like I just said, this is to all the teams, not even just to the Ravens and the Dukes. Like I said, we got big games with the Bucks going up against GCT. Big games with the Gators and the Rams. Y'all saw what happened at the A7 situation. Y'all see what is going in the media. That's not the look that you want for this, that we want for this league.
And definitely not this league.
And that you want for professional development football. We've been there, done that. When I was playing, that was normal. We're trying to move the culture past that. And in order to do that, people have to show restraint. Leave it within the lines. Leave it within the lines. I tell kids that I coach, the reason why I play football is because it's the only game I can play that I can legally not go to jail, but I definitely can beat somebody up. Within the sport, within reason. Physically being physical with somebody during the game, getting my lick back during the game. That's what football is about. Not this stuff after the game, jumping people, fighting on the side. That is weak to me.
Yeah.
And
you know,
the thing about it is you guys at this level want people to take you seriously.
Yeah, they'll never take anybody seriously at this level with stuff like that going on. You had the thing that happened with the helmet at the referee, and then the A7FL thing. It's just, I mean, I know all the leagues that are partnering with the PFA, the BCFL, the MCFL. We're working our asses off this year to try to change that culture. And every time something like that happens, it's not just a black mark on that A7FL league. It's a black mark on everybody's league that they're involved in, that they're trying to do better. Doesn't matter where you are, where you play, what type of football you play. It makes everybody look bad because people that are not football players or not part of the media are looking at that and going, wow, every comment you see about that, well, that's semi-pro for you. Well, no, it's not. To us, it's not semi-pro. It's professional development football now because we want to take that stigma of semi-pro away. And it's because of stupid shit like that that gives the stigma of semi-pro because of that kind of stuff. So, like Chris said, everybody have fun this weekend, play your games, play tough, play hard. But at the end of the day, go home and, shake hands afterwards and just go home and about your way. No matter what the outcome is, win, lose, draw, it doesn't matter. A7L, A7FL, I don't think it's a professional league, Fred. I have a different opinion in that. I don't have enough censor buttons on this show to bleep it all out. So just to round it up, I mean, the guys that play in that league, talented, and some balls to be able to play full contact football and take some of those hits with no pads on. But as far as, in my opinion, being in a professional league, no, I don't think it is. I think it's a joke. But that's just my opinion. And like I said, everybody else have their opinion. Yeah, their title is, but that's correct. That's one of the reasons why I won't ever cover the A7FL for my media stuff that I do besides the PFA. I won't give it, traction. I just don't believe in it. But anyways, thanks to all of our guests tonight, Coach Wheeler, Coach Henderson. Apologize for the technical difficulties on the phone call, but we'll get you back on. Best of luck to everybody this weekend. We got, best of luck to the Dukes taking on the Ravens. And like I said, that's going to be a great game, and who knows what's going to happen afterwards. So we might have a lot to talk about next week, Chris. But Fred, you have a good night, sir.
I got Dukes and Ravens promised to come on next week after the game.
Yeah.
Mike Clay made me a promise.
We're going to hold you guys to it. But remember, this is a kid-friendly show and professional show, so don't be bringing that bullshit. Be professional. You can talk your shit. We don't care. You can talk some smack. Just keep it nice. No. Anyways, thanks to all the guests. Thanks to the people in the chat participating. As always, I'm Brian, my co-host Chris Cousins. We'll catch you next week. You're watching The Rundown.
Catch us if you can.